Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, before I move the me and said to me that I did not introduce myself. So based on the advice from Honorable Boma, I will formally introduce myself as Femi Gbajabiamila. Up until perhaps yesterday, the Speaker of the 9th Assembly. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I stand to move a motion on the need for the federal government of Nigeria and the state governments to commence active measures to mitigate the probable devastation of a severe flood season and prepare palliative and intervention measures to prevent the worst socio-economic consequences for Nigerians in the affected areas. Now, the House notes that large portions of the country from north to south, east to west, are prone to annual destructive flooding incidents. These recurring events have in recent years increased significantly in severity and to the extent of the devastation of lives and property. The House further notes that the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NEMA, in January this year released the seasonal climate prediction with a forecast of early onset of rain across the country and heavy rains through the season. The prediction of an early rainy season has already come to pass. There is every reason, therefore, to expect the forecast of a heavy rain season will also come to pass. The House concerned that the 2023 annual flood outlook prepared by the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency shows that 178 local government areas in 32 states of the and the Federal Capital Territory fall within the high probable flood risk areas. Aware that Nigeria is yet to recover from the 2022 flood, which affected more than 4 million Nigerians, displaced over 2 million people, caused the death of 665 people, damaged about 355,986 houses, and destroyed an estimated total of 944,989 hectares of farmland. The House is also aware that the experience of the 2022 flood caused the federal government of Nigeria to constitute a presidential committee to develop a comprehensive plan of action for preventing flood disasters in Nigeria. The action plan proposes structural and non-structural measures, land and water management systems, and better coordination among stakeholders across the federal and state governments to ensure effective flood management in Nigeria. Now, the House is convinced that with sufficient preparation and collaboration between the federal and state governments, we can mitigate the loss of life and the social economic hardships caused by these recurring flooding events. Therefore, the House resolves to invite the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and other agencies of the federal government of Nigeria to brief the House of Representatives on the measures in place to mitigate flood disasters and manage the socio-economic impact on the citizens resident in the flood-prone areas. 2, the House resolves to liaise with the relevant agencies of the federal government of Nigeria to ensure the relocation of Nigerians away from the most flood-prone areas. 3, the House is to ensure the federal government of Nigeria stockpiles sufficient quantities of temporary shelter materials, food and nutritional items, and medicines to support people in flood-prone areas.